Hi, I'm QDC. What we're about to build today is Tamiya Italerie's M107 U.S. self-propelled gun, the Vietnam War. And this is 1/35th scale. This is a cooperation between Tamiya and Italeri, in which Italeri has given Tamiya the rights to use their older kit from the 1980s, the M107, and Tamiya has basically added their own figure set from the 1970s onto this kit, and Tamiya also basically cleaned up the molds from the 1980s to make them more modern for today's use. So let's go ahead and start building this kit right now. Let's get the cooking size box. We have personal equipment, figures, one bag containing the wheels, upper hull, lower hull, and the tracks, decal, and the instruction sheet. I want to talk to you more about assembling the gun barrel. The model kit is made out of very brittle plastic, and traditionally when I assemble gun barrels, I just glue the entire two piece together and use clamps to hold it together until it's dry. Since this plastic is very brittle, if I use clamps and put them together like so, it would actually crack the plastic. So these clamps are not going to work. So I must use another method. The other method is for me to actually glue this gun barrel in sections, 3 sections. I've already glued this section right here together and it's dry. So now I'm going to glue the center section. So I'm going to just simply hold on to the center of the gun barrel together and glue it like that. Then I'll let it dry, and then once the center has dried, then I'll work on the end. Okay, so we built the model kit, and now it's time for me to show you what I think about this kit so far. Take a look. This is the completed model build before painting, and this is a good kit overall. I like the details on this model kit. There are a lot of it, and well, for its time during the 1980s when this kit was actually manufactured, it actually is pretty darn good. The only drawback on this model kit is that since it was made in the 1980s, the technology isn't as good as it is today. So there are a lot of injector pin marks, especially on the gun. So you're going to have to fill them in with putty in order to make this look good. And the only difficulty that, and actually a complaint that I have with this model kit, is the brittle plastic. Since this plastic is very brittle, I had a hard time assembling the small intricate parts of the gun, and that really took a lot of time and patience for me to actually assemble because it was so brittle. It just kept on breaking off on me. So that being said, if you're a beginner, I would not recommend this kit for you to build because of the quality of the plastic. It's so brittle that I could easily see the beginner would get very frustrated assembling this kit because most of the parts will break off on you. But if you're a intermediate or an advanced model kit builder, this is a very nice kit for you to have, for you to build. Even though you're going to have to fill in these injector pin marks in order for you to have this look better, it's well worth doing. It's time for me to paint the model. It's time for me to paint the model. I already gave the entire model a coat of black primer, and now I'm going to use my airbrush and start painting the model with the base color. I just finished painting the model, and I want to talk to you about the various colors that I used to paint this model kit. When you look at this model kit, it looks like it's one single color, olive drab, but in reality, this model kit has 4 colors. When a light shines an object, it creates various shades of highlight and shadow, and I tried my best to imitate that onto this kit. What I'm pointing at are the actual colors that I used to paint this model kit. This is the base color, the highlight, the bright highlight, and the shadow. So I used the base color to paint this area right over here. I used the dark shadow to paint this area over here. Then I used the highlight to paint this area. And I used the bright highlight to paint this area. But when you put them all together, it still looks like it's one color. And it's an optical illusion. I'm going to give my model a wash. What you see right here is a cup of brown artist oil paint that has been diluted in mineral spirits, and I'm going to simply give the entire model a wash. I'm going to make some mud effects. What you see right here is a cup of tile grout, and what I'm going to do is, using this toothpick, I'm going to use an airbrush and spray the tile grout onto the undercarriage to make some splattering mud effects. I'm going to dry brush some of the details on the gun so it'll be more visible. I just installed the tracks. When I installed the tracks, there was a huge gap between the upper part of the track and it was not touching the wheel, which made it look unrealistic. So what I've done was I used super glue and glued the upper part of the tracks onto the wheels, and I use these wedges made of aluminum foil to keep it in place until it all dries out. I'm going to simulate chip paint. What I have in my hand is a pair of tweezers, and it's holding a sponge that has been dipped in black paint. And I'm going to dabble on the paint onto areas where I think there's going to be chip paint. So here are the three figures that I painted, and it's ready for the diorama. Now, the way I painted these three figures is a very straightforward and easy manner to do. It's not the best way to do it, but I think that it's something that the beginner would like to do, because all my videos are geared for the beginner. If you take a look at a picture of real soldiers in the Vietnam War, you notice that their uniforms are all faded out. And so I try my best to imitate that onto these three figures. The first thing I've done was to, after assembling the figures, I filled in the gaps with putty. Then I started to paint the figures. I painted the uniforms first, the eyes second, and then third I painted the flesh for the face and hands. After that, I gave all three figures a coat of gloss finish to protect it, and then I started to give each figure a wash. I gave a wash for the clothing and for the flesh, and there were different colors. After that, I let it dry. Once the wash was dry, I took a brush and carefully removed most of the wash off the clothing and off the face to leave just a little bit of the wash left so you could see the wrinkles of the clothing. After that, I gave the figures again another coat of gloss, and then I mixed up highlights. Once I mixed the highlights, I carefully put a light coating of the highlight on areas where I think that the clothing would show highlights, and onto the face as well, and arms and hands. And after that, I gave a final coat of matte finish to dull the gloss coat. And then I was finished. So again, these three figures, the way I painted it, is not the best way to paint figures. However, this method is fairly straightforward, and I think it's fairly easy for the beginner, for him or her to actually make, and you will achieve satisfactory results like I have right here. I'm going to start building the diorama. What you see right here is a wooden base that I bought at my local craft store, and I'm going to stain it using this product called Minwax Poly Shades, and I'm just going to give it a coat. the stain is dried, and now it's time for me to add the groundwork. If you take a look at a picture of Vietnam, you notice that the artillery piece is on flat surface with a little bit of vegetation. So I'm going to try to imitate that onto my diorama. What you see right here is a container of tile grout, and I'm going to add that tile grout onto the base to make the groundwork. Now I'm going to add some static grass. Alright, so we built the model kit, we painted it, we weathered it, and now it's time for me to show you the entire model kit from the beginning to the end. Take a look. This is the computer model kit after painting and weathering, and this is an impressive kit. One of the biggest features of this kit is, of course, the long, big gun. When you build this kit to its final stage, like I've done right here, you really notice that this gun is just huge, and it's really an attractive feature for this kit. I like the weathering that I've done on the wheels, and I also like the weathering that I've done to bring out the details of the gun itself. Given the fact that this kit was made back in the 1980s, the quality and the details of this model kit is exceptional. I really liked it a lot. And the included figures in this kit really help make this whole entire kit a good diorama straight out of the box. All you have to do is make your own base and your own groundwork. You put them together and you have a very easy diorama for you to have. It's a really good kit overall. One of the biggest drawbacks, like I said before, is the quality of the plastic. I really wish the quality of plastic would be a lot better, because I want the beginner to really build this kit. This is such an impressive model that I know the beginner would love to build this kit, but because of the quality of the plastic being so brittle, it really lets it down. But overall, I like this kit a lot. Highly recommended. That completes this model project. What you're about to see is a video slideshow of the entire model kit, but before I go, as always, just because I put this video here on YouTube, it doesn't make me a model kit expert. I am not an expert. I'm just a regular guy just like you. I want to dedicate this video to a good friend of mine. His name is Ron. He served in the Vietnam War, and he's a very proud Marine. During the Vietnam War, he was a foot soldier like anybody else was back then, and I asked him about artillery when he was in the Vietnam War. And he said that when he was in trouble, artillery wasn't the primary support that he had in the Vietnam War. He remembered that that air support was the biggest primary support that he had, either from Spookies or Spectres flying over the air, shooting their rounds down to the ground, or they had B-52s. Now he especially remembers the B-52s for its for the powerful bombs that they dropped. They dropped those bombs so close to him that he remembered that the concussion, the shock wave of those bombs would go right through his entire body, and he really felt it, and he remembered that very, very well. So I want to share something very personal with you that me and Ron have. Um, Most of my friends who served during the Vietnam War don't want to talk about it because it's not a very popular war, and they had it was a confusing war, and it was a hard war for them to fight during the Vietnam War. And then when they came back to the United States, they were mistreated for the most part, and it's very common to be mistreated because they served in the Vietnam War, and it's a shame. Really, it is a shame. So when I was asking my friend Ron about the Vietnam War, he was intrigued. Most people won't ask about the Vietnam War, and he just was intrigued that I was willing to ask about that. And so one thing led to another, and we got on the subject about me pretending to be back in the Vietnam War with Ron. He asked me how would I feel if I was 19 years old back in the 1960s, being in the Vietnam War with him as a Marine. Now, given my understanding about the 1960s, where racism was very, very strong, where the Ku Klux Klan still had cross burnings, and there was it was legal to have racism, where segregation was very, very prominent, where signs that had in certain parts of the United States where it had signs that says whites only. Given given that environment of the 1960s, I said to him, I would probably be shot in Vietnam because I look like the enemy. My own people will shoot me because I look like the enemy. And in Ron's fashion, he just said in his own words, "No, you're not!" And he just grinned. He said that when he was in the Vietnam War, he made a very good friend, and he was Asian. And he and him fought alongside, and then he survived. He survived the Vietnam War, just like he did. And so he showed me a picture of him and his friend in the Vietnam War. Take a look at it. When I saw that photograph, I was shocked, and I had a very different point of view about the Vietnam War and with Ron after that. But I won't go any further beyond that. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching my video, and please enjoy this video slideshow of this model kit. I'm QDC, and thanks for watching.